Welcome to the third day. Welcome to the third day of the 2022 Division 1 New Zealand Mixed Ultimate Championships here in what has typically been sunny Bob Dean's Field, our semi-final match between Credo from Canterbury and Hoodie Putty from Wellington. My name as always is Blair Monroe, and it is a pleasure to be here to talk you through the exciting action on the final day of our tournament, proudly supported by the crew at ULTI.TV. We're just going to go across to the captains now for the flip before the opening pull.
Ladies to start. Cool. Are you guys happy to stay in white?
Yeah.
We'll stay in that. Cool. Have a good game. Luck.
Yeah.
Thanks, Blair.
What an exciting match we have ahead of us. And so we are only moments away from the opening pull for the semi-final match between Credo from Canterbury and Hoodie Putty from Wellington. Credo, two incredible Universe Point finishes yesterday, really trying to get themselves into their top four bracket. They haven't had a top four placing since 2018 when they came second in the tournament. Hoodie Putty, current clear favourites to win the tournament. The only team really expecting to test them is MDC Shield. But Credo are going to be the last barrier before Hoodie Putty make the finals. It's going to be a fantastic match here. Credo have come in. They have shown that they have that combination of skill and hunger that has allowed them to fight back and really claw some very impressive and dynamic victories. Hoodie Putty so far remaining undefeated throughout the tournament. As always, my name is Blair Monroe, proudly supported by the team at ULTI.TV. Head on over to patreon.com/ULTI.TV. If you've been following our footage and you want to see more like it, your donations go a very, very long way. ULTI.TV, even on a good day, can sometimes feel like we're cobbled together. In fact, one of my shoelaces is currently holding together some of our camera equipment. The more support you are willing to give us, the higher quality production we can bring to your screens. Credo to start on defense from the left-hand side of your screen. Some very impressive pedigree for the Credo side. A lot of under 20 players. There's a huge amount of youth development happening in the Canterbury region. And we're seeing that come through the Credo team. That coupled with a lot of experience from the likes of Fernando, the Taylor Natzes, Tiarafai McGuinness as well. The flip side, Hoodie Putty. Huge amount of previous national and world. Connor just setting free that powerful forehand. Nice high angle. Great trust in the teammates there for Hoban to come down with it. So Huripari to play defense now. Looks like a... What? So a very, very quick hold for Huripari. Some nice disc movement as they play through that horizontal. Whitlock, Tamara Neal. Nice quick disc movement, managing to push up the far sideline towards Tara O'Connor for a big forehand finish, finding Peter Hoban in the end zone over Caleb Milne for Credo. One step on the road to 15. A game to 15, first team to hit that many points is going to be the one that walks away with a shot in the final match to be streamed a little bit later on. Zoe Reisner, McAdam, Whitlock, Aston, Pickering, Swanson, Hoban. Huge pull from Peter Hoban, going long, deep into the end zone. Fielded by Tiang. Finds Jack Lewis near sideline. Puts a big shot up, looking for an answer of their own. Becky Farr's underneath it. But Reisner is unstoppable in the deep space, managing to generate the turn, giving the disc back to Hoodie Putty. Whitlock to Hoban, back to Whitlock on the near sideline, marked by Fernando. Big crossfield shot for Hoban, marked by Brent Douglas. Continues up the far sideline to McAdam. Puts one past Lewis, looking for Aston. Comfortable score for Hoodie Putty. 2-0 over Credo. Just clean offense. Hoban with a high backhand to McAdam on the far sideline. McAdam with a left forehand to Aston deep in the end zone past Tiang. Huripari to come back out on defense. Paul, Aldrich, Swanson, O'Connor, Neal, Hogg, and Thornton. Once again, Credo having a large roster on the field to make sure that the communication fed back to players from the sideline is valuable and comes smoothly. Tiang. Goldby. Taylor Nartz's Lewis. Hamish, Bones, Thornton with the pull. Puts a lot of float on that one. Fielded early by Douglas to Tiang. Marked by the bigger arms of Tyler Hogg. Has to go with an angle, but finds Taylor Nartz on the far sideline. Pressured by Aldridge. Shuts down the long shot, and a pick has been called. As a reminder for those watching at home, as a non-contact sport, if the defender's pursuit of an offensive player is impeded by the movement or position of another player on the field, a pick can be called and play is stopped while the players involved in the pick are given the opportunity to catch up to where they reasonably think they would have been had the pick not occurred. As play resumes, Taylor Nartz puts one up looking for Lewis. Great work by Credo. One on the board just inside the far boundary of the end zone. High fives all around for Credo. Grateful to be putting that point on the board, not letting Hoodie Putty walk away with the match just yet. As the disc fades toward the far sideline, it's Lewis who comes up with it, despite a great play by Hamish Thornton to try and come up over the top. Taylor Nartz a little off balance at the end of that throw. But Jack Lewis makes it a good one. And now the Credo defensive line to send down players, hoping to shut down the very clinical and clean Hoodie Putty offense that we've seen so far. Great pull by Credo, fielded by Broughton. The defense pressures a little early for the quick midfield centre to Whitlock. Has to go to the far sideline. Credo looking to play a little bit of zone defense. Milne up front, pressuring Neal with the disc now. Goes back to close in on Broughton. Hodgman in the midfield, trying to shut down any cuts back towards the disc. It's the handlers doing all of the work right now. Neal to Broughton, Hogg on the sideline, shut down by Taylor Nartz. Back to Neal to Broughton, despite the impressive performance by Hodgman to try and stop the flow. Goes back to Whitlock. He's well within range for an overhead and the conditions aren't too bad for it. Decides not to, a couple of cheeky backhands through to Neal, back to Whitlock to Broughton. Right on the doorstep, needing a score here. A reset jumped in by Nick Whitlock as they go up by another one. The score currently 3-1 against the hometown heroes and in favour of Hoodie Putty from Wellington. Broughton right on the line. Whitlock stretches the zone towards the near sideline, in great position to just jump one in where the defense left the space available. Great patience by Broughton there. Whitlock trying to make himself available as a reset on the near sideline. Broughton recognizing where the space was, holding the disc, encouraging Whitlock to come back to the far sideline where the score was waiting for him. Credo to come down on offense. Adele Besseling, who we've seen amazing things from this tournament so far. Great work as a deep receiver for Credo's side, particularly when some of those players uncork some monster throws downfield. Got Lee, McGuinness, Taylor Nartz. Facing down against Paul Reisner. Hoban, McAdam, Aston, and O'Connor. It's Hodgman and Taylor Nartz starting things off. Hoodie Putty playing match defense as McGuinness gets a nice undercut over Becca Aston on the near sideline. Lots of fakes trying to shift the defense. Stall count's getting high, has to go wide, finds Taylor Nartz. Great work chaining those passes together for Hodgman on the far sideline. Walker's trying to pressure the deep space. He's got separation from McAdam, but the up-front defense is a little bit much. It's Edwards now, straight through the middle. Walker comes back on a return pass. Taylor Nartz pulls one out in front of Paul. Has possession. Patience here is going to put another point on the board for them. Reisner tries to bid, but Edwards manages to hold on. Taylor Nartz gives up some yards for secure possession of the disc. Threads one through low. Finds McGuinness very close to the end zone. Beautiful score. Number 30, Finn Walker for the Credo side, bringing it back to a 1-point game. Amazing offensive flow from Credo there. Despite the impressive roster on the Hoodie Putty side, Credo not afraid to go toe-to-toe against these Hoodie Putty players. Some great Frisbee on display for you here today in the semi-final match of the 2022 New Zealand Mixed Ultimate Championships Division 1 in Christchurch. Could Credo be the ones to hand Hoodie Putty their first loss of the tournament? For the most part, trading now, but a necessary break if Credo want to tie up the game and really put their mark on this match. A huge pull goes long. Whitlock and Broughton working with it early. The Credo defense tries to pressure, but it's Bodis. Through to Pickering, to Neal. Whitlock around to Broughton. Bodis trying to take another one through the middle, but the zone slowly closes those doors. A scuba over the top to Neal. Near sideline marked by Barnes. Chips away to Broughton, through the middle to Bodis again. She's unstoppable in that center field. Whitlock to Neal. Goes over the top to Broughton. To Hogg. Wide open space. Broughton once again on the doorstep. Displaying that patience. Neal to Whitlock. Up over the top. For Swanson and the score. Hoodie Putty up by 2 one more time. The score 4-2 in favor of the side from Wellington. That quick loss of yards by Broughton to give Whitlock the space to put one up over the top of the defense. Jack Lewis wondering whether or not he's got a shot at it as he completes the turn to track the disc. It's already in the hands of Ben Swanson. Broughton trying to make a great line cut to pressure that near sideline. He had separation, but Whitlock saw a better target in Swanson for the score. Huge pull by Hoodie Putty, touches down with a little bit of roll. Douglas and Tiang again. Hoban and Whitlock starting off the defense, but Taylor Nartz in the center field, untouched. Tiang to Taylor Nartz again, back to Tiang, some great handler movement, shift the disc, Sam Taylor Nartz, who we've seen some amazing things from this tournament so far. A high crossfield. Mara Neal decides not to bid, instead shutting down the next pass as Douglas takes it on the far sideline. Back to Tiang and Taylor Nartz, but it's high. Whitlock doesn't make a play. Taylor Nartz goes over the top to Lewis over Swanson. Things a little pressured in the end zone. Chips one through, but a call's been made. So unsure is exactly what the nature of the call was, but for those watching at home, Ultimate is a self-officiated sport. The only referees we have are the 14 players on the field. It is their responsibility to learn the rules and to make calls between them and resolve them as amicably as possible in accordance with how things should have happened had the play occurred according to the rules. But it looks like Fernando will retain possession, goes wide, chips one off Tiang to find Taylor Nartz. And a great through shot. Taylor Nartz, despite immense pressure from Peter Hoban, is able to find Bryn Douglas open in the end zone for the score. Credo 3, Hoodie Putty 4. What an amazing find. Fernando to Tiang. We see it again. Taylor Nartz. Hoban's there. And Bryn Douglas manages to squeak one through to bring it back to a 1-point game. Some beautiful work there. Shifty on the pivot by Taylor Nartz to keep Hoban guessing, managing to exploit that height mismatch to really push through a low shot to Douglas for the score. McGuinness with the disc for the pull for Credo. Huge chase from the youthful Credo side. Broughton to Hoban. Back to Broughton. Theo McIntosh, a power player for the Credo side, closing in on the mark now. Supported by Taylor Nartz. The disc has to go straight back to Nicky Botus. Pulled out of that midfield space for a few passes in this position. Working with those skills with the disc. Perhaps a little bit more necessary to play like this. McAdams got it, puts up a high shot, looking for Hoban on the near sideline. Finds him comfortably, chips one back through to McAdam. Hoban to Botus, far sideline. It's McGuinness and McIntosh. Taylor Nartz tries to shut down Broughton on the reset. Hoban's going wide. He gets possession, but his momentum carries him into the end zone. McGuinness, a lot of pressure on the defense. McIntosh forces the disc back. It's Broughton. McAdam. Botus back to Hoban. Credo defense doing a great job of slowing down Hoodie Putty this close to the end zone. High over the top. Pops it through to O'Connor for the score despite a great bid from Finn Walker. Hoodie Putty 5, Credo 3. Broughton over the top. McAdam, O'Connor with space. That was a bid by Milne. Milne and Walker, a dangerous pair on the defensive side, but Hoodie Putty able to have the focus and the patience to work around the Credo zone defense and put one away to keep the margin at 2. Reisner, Neal, Aston, McAdam, Aldridge. Against McGuinness, Edwards, Taylor Nartz, Bessling. Reisner with the disc for the pull. Puts it deep. Taylor Nartz has the disc. Centre field right in front of the end zone. Hoodie Putty applying a zone defense, trying to pressure and generate an early turn. A line drive by Edwards finds the hands of Taylor Nartz, but the disc has a little bit much heat, and that is the turn that Hoodie Putty want. Whitlock has the disc, marked by the long arms of Lee, signaling for players to move. McAdams so close to the score, finds Paul on an upline cut to take Hoodie Putty back to a 3-point lead. 2 points away from taking half in the semi-final match of the 2022 Division 1 New Zealand Mixed Ultimate Championships here in Christchurch. Great aggression. So up until this point, we've seen Hoodie Putty playing a very aggressive match defense. This time, switching things up, changing the tempo, playing against a zone, can often throw a little bit of a wrench in the timing of an offensive side. And so that pressure mounted and built and built. Edwards had to put a shot away, and it just came off the hands of Taylor Lennartz on the inside near sideline, giving possession back to Hoodie Putty for a great around by Whitlock to find McAdams, and a chip through to Paul for the score.
Let's go, Credo!
Thornton with the disc for the pull for Hoodie Putty. O'Connor, Pickering, Neal, Aldrich, McAdam, and Swanson. Hoping to shut down the Credo offense here. Jack Lewis, Goldby, Fernando, Tiang, and Douglas working against the Hoodie Putty zone. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Credo have to go up over the top. Mara Neal not able to get it away from Richard Fernando. Wide open in the center field before O'Connor closes the trap. He puts one big cross field. Looking for Bryn Douglas, manages to find him to Goldby. McAdam has to squeeze in. Puts one around to Lewis. The throws by Bryn Douglas this tournament have been ridiculous. We're going to see Douglas putting a big one up, slowly making his way up that far sideline. Bryn Douglas on the far side of the zone with the disc. To Goldby. And then on the wrong side of McAdam for him to make a play. And just a juicy backhand with just enough edge to curve back around to find Lewis. Toes in at the front of the end zone for the score, taking us back within 2. The Credo defensive line now. Tiang, Taylor Lennartz, Lewis, Sam Taylor Lennartz, Bryn Douglas with the disc. Big long shot. Broughton's got it. Whitlock to gain ground. Paul on a nice undercut. Hoban fumbles it, trying to keep it in bounds on the far sideline. This is what Credo need. Switching up the defense of their own, really pressuring that match play, trying to isolate those individual one-on-ones. Managing to put enough pressure on that they just got carried up the far sideline by Hoodie Putty, giving possession back to Credo. An opportunity here to make it a one-point game, but it looks like there's a conversation happening between Richard Fernando and Taylor Hogg as to whether or not there was contact. So the disc is checked in. Douglas puts it up. Looking for Taylor Lennartz. Whitlock says no. No qualms whatsoever about the defense keeping their feet in bounds. Lets them make huge plays like that. Great work by Whitlock to prevent Credo from walking away with that one. Particularly when the Hoodie Putty hammer comes down. It's not as though that throw could have been edged in towards the center field. Otherwise, Whitlock would have had an even easier play on it. Finds Paul, marked by Becky Farr. Sideline for Hoban. Broughton to secure it. when it goes over the top of Bodis. Despite a great bid by Taylor Nards, it's Whitlock's hands that come away with the disc. Although another call has been made, tensions clearly running high in this semi-final. It isn't the margin Hoodie Putty would want. A pick was called on the reception by Whitlock. So play will resume. Hoodie Putty keep possession. Hoban finds a wide open Paul center field. And a travel was called, which wouldn't ordinarily be a stoppage. But clearly this one warrants a little extra conversation. Not sure whether or not a travel can be contested in Ultimate. Whitlock has the disc marked by Taylor Nards, drops the hammer for a wide open Hoban to take Hoodie Putty within one of half. As we are playing a game to 15, the first team to hit 8 points is going to walk away with a half. It'll have a short break to allow teams to catch their breath, get some water, and resume play. But they are not there yet. Credo still in this game. A 3-point deficit. We've seen such deficits be fumbled earlier on in this tournament. The timing on that little jab step into the upfield space for Whitlock to get free and find Hoban open in the end zone. A great target for a hammer, particularly one thrown by Nicholas Whitlock. Hogg, McAdam, Pickering, Neal, Reisner, O'Connor, and Aldrich. As Zoe Reisner puts up the pull, Equilibrium's #1 coach. Edwards, Taylor Nards, and Hodgman. Puts a scuba over the top of the tall Tyler Hogg. Find Theo McIntosh, another overhead. Drive to the line, caught by Courting. Drops back to Edwards, Hogg closes in, supported by O'Connor and Pickering. Tries to find a gap, but Aldridge eats it up. Reisner has the disc. McAdam puts a big backhand up looking for Aldridge, but it might be overthrown. Possession is going to go back to Credo. Credo have demonstrated that they have the patience to work this disc. Maybe a little overzealous on that put. Dan Aldridge, some have called him the funniest man on Hoodie Putty. McAdam, arguably the second funniest. But it's Credo who have possession now. They are the hometown heroes. It's Edwards over to Taylor Nards with another huge scuba. Eaten up by McAdam. To O'Connor, to McAdam again. Bessling not able to put a chase on. Looking for Reisner in the end zone. It's not going to happen, but Tyler Hogg is there. What an amazing play. Reisner in great position to read that disc. But a little bit too much height. It wasn't going to come away as Hoodie Putty take half. The big scuba over the top. Might have been a bailout option. McAdams has it. We see that one again. McAdams to O'Connor. It's a little wibbly. Puts the shot up. Overthrows Reisner. Hodgman can't get it, but Hogg can. Slide to roll for half for Hogg. A beautiful score. Just off the fingertips of Hodgman for a beautiful point and a great way for Hoodie Putty to end the first half of the game. But as we take a few moments for these teams to reconsolidate and figure out what changes they need to make for the second half to continue their path towards victory, we will take a short break. My name, as always, is Blair Monroe, here with ULTI.TV for the 2022 Division 1 Mixed Ultimate Championships in Christchurch. We will be back soon.
Right now, he's gonna have to bid. Oh, just a football.
Huge layout block. Unbelievable stuff on the front corner of the end zone.
Maybe just that boost of energy they needed. Huge swing pass and a great grab there from Spear.
And there goes my other shoelace for the second half of the semi-final match between Hoodie Putty and Credo in the 2022 Division 1 New Zealand Mixed Ultimate Championships. The score currently 8-4 in favour of the side from Wellington. Hoodie Putty in the light uniform. Credo currently down by 4, but who have put on an impressive performance in this match so far. Hoping for an opportunity. A win here for Credo means they're only final 2 showing in a final match for Division 1 Championships since 2018. A huge moment here. They have the home field advantage. They know the conditions. The conditions know them. They've put on the tournament. It would mean the world to walk away with a win here to take them through to the top 2. In their way, Hoodie Putty, a huge squad with a lot of depth, a lot of athleticism, a lot of experience, not only on a national but also on a world's level. Some very, very talented players stand in their way. Currently up by 4 points. A bit of a David and Goliath story here if Credo want to walk away with the win. And just before we kick off with the opening pull of the second half, teams taking another few moments to just huddle up, to talk strategy, to consolidate their learnings from the first half. What went well, what didn't, what do we need to change? If anything, do we need to change? Hoodie Putty playing with a slightly smaller roster than the Credo side. And the question will remain for the remainder of this match. Is there sufficient strength in numbers to take Credo all the way through to the final 2?
When I say Hoodie, you say Putty! Hoodie! Putty! Hoodie! Putty! Hoodie!
And Credo break the huddle, sending 7 players out to the line. Reisner, O'Connor, Pickering, Aston, Thornton, Hogg, and McAdam to take the line for the Hoodie Putty side. Facing off against Theo McIntosh, Hodgman, Goldby, Cording, Edwards, McGuinness, and Walker. Turns out Golby was just thirsty. Walking towards a water bottle. It'll be Lee to take the line. Hoodie Putty starting the game on offense. Means they will start the second half on defense, regardless of who scored the last point before half. Reisner, who's been putting up some amazing opening pulls for the Hoodie Putty side, to have the disc again. A threat anywhere on the field. Defensively, offensively, you can't take your eyes off her. Hodgman and Cat Taylor Nartz. Aston, Thornton and Pickering applying pressure on the zone. Edwards goes over the top with a hammer to Lee. Far sideline to McGuinness. The zone scrambling to get reset, leaving some open players back upfield. Edwards, Taylor Narts, early swing to Hodgman. Straight back to Taylor Narts. Edwards on the sideline, hoping to tire out the zone, send them back forth across the field. Decides to go up over the top, looking for Lee. No, not Lee. It's Walker who comes up with it. Taylor Narts goes back to Hodgman. Laser beam over the top for Cording with a score. Credo 5, Hoodie Putty 8. A great opening volley for the side from Canterbury. Taylor Narts goes back to Hodgman as the zone slowly takes its time closing in. He sees Cording wide open in the deep space. Decides to take his shot. Conditions are pretty stable. There's not a lot of wind. It's a great find. A beautiful shot. Aston trying to close the distance in the last few, but it's not going to be enough for Hoodie Putty to take that opportunity away from Credo. Golby, Douglas, Lewis, Fernando, Barnes, Fa and Tiang. To send down the disc and pressure Hoodie Putty's offense. Are we going to see that same Credo zone that's worked pretty well for them this tournament? Touches down. Broughton off the bounce. Working with Whitlock. Looks like they're working on a match defense. Fernando trying to shut down Whitlock, but he's able to find Paul on the near sideline. Bounces one off. Paul back to Whitlock. McAdam has the disc. Not in bounds. So he resets and finds Hoban on a great cut. Hoodie Putty go to 9 over Credo's 5. Very clean offense there. Some great work, some good long options, some quick thinking from Hoodie Putty to put that one away. Only a few passes in the point. Great jump in attempt by McAdam. Just landing as flat-footed as that was, and we'll see that again. The back of his heel was in contact with the boundary line, and so he's not considered in. Took that step back into the playing field. Hoban with great separation there. Hoban, Thornton, Aldridge, Reisner, Pickering, Swanson, and Aston as the defensive 7 for Hoodie Putty, hoping to break double digits as we enter the 50th minute of this match. McIntosh, Farr, Lewis, Fernando, Taylor Narts, Douglas, and Tiang. We will see Hoodie Putty play out of a bit of a loose zone defense at the moment. Not looking to pressure those individual matchups, looking to target the most vulnerable space on the field. The disc is going to be bricked, so as the pull did not land in bounds. Douglas will take it to a point center field. Great undercut by Lewis. Gives the reset back to Taylor Narts, who bounces one off. Natalie Tiang pushes to Lewis, the far sideline. A laser beam through. Touches off the hands of Fernando, giving possession back to Hoodie Putty. Hoban straight to Reisner to Aldridge. Thornton pushing deep. Goes back to Hoban. Thornton trying again. Reisner open from far. Through the middle to Aldridge. Aston testing Taylor Nartz, pushing towards the end zone, but a pick has been called.
Feel free to take one. Yeah, take an injury. Vertical. Find the stag. Back from the back.
So just a little bit of... So whatever the call was has been retracted. Play's going to resume. Zoe Reisner has the disc. Works back to Hoban. Nando in hot pursuit. Works the sideline for Reisner. Swanson wide open. Has to come back, finds Hoban. That Hoodie Putty patience. Aldridge near sideline now. Goes around to find Thornton. Quick snapshot across to Pickering, but it's not kept in hands. Some amazing thinking there with a change of direction for the Hoodie Putty offense. Really trying to get the defense to overcommit. Just requires all teammates need to be dialed into that same strategy. So Taylor Nartz finds Tiang near sideline, goes back to center field with Taylor Nartz. Douglas on the far sideline. Goes around to give Lewis the disc. Not afraid to lose yards. Swinging wide to Natalie Tiang on the near sideline now. Marked by Hamish Thornton. Goes back wide, far side. Jack Lewis wanting the disc in the hands of Bryn Douglas. We've seen the kind of throws he's able to put out over this tournament. Taylor Nartz, overhead scuba. Little bit of a laser beam. Finds Theo McIntosh. Quick reset to Taylor Nartz, to Tiang on the near sideline. Chip one across to Richard Fernando. Safe resets from the Credo side, very patient. Works one through to Lewis with a between the legs grab. Gaining yards, meters at a time. Single pass. Bryn Douglas on the far sideline. Puts one past Aldridge for the score. Credo back within 3, but it looks like a call's been made. The call's been retracted. That will be a point for Credo. Credo 6, Hoodie Putty 9. So Taylor Nartz to Bryn Douglas. Great little step in from out of bounds. A little conversation, but the point is going to go to Credo. Hogg, Paul, Broughton, O'Connor, Botus for Hoodie Putty. Cording, Lee, McGuinness with the pull. Starts to fade. About halfway into the Hoodie Putty defensive end zone. Nicholas Whitlock with a crossfield hammer looking for Hogg on the near sideline. Pressure by Edwards. Unbelievable. A clean play, gives the disc back. It's Milne who goes to the wide sideline for Credo now. Lee with the disc. Nice outside in forehand. Threads one through. Huge bid by Walker, but it's not going to be enough. Hoodie Putty with a big huck from Nick Whitlock, looking for O'Connor in the deep space. It's dropping, but she's got it. A beautiful score as Hoodie Putty break double digits, going 10 over the Credo 6. Nicholas Whitlock doing what Nicholas Whitlock does. Great play by Walker. A little more kindness on the disc, would have had that in hand. Whitlock lets rip. It's long, it's got a lot of float. O'Connor reads it perfectly, putting Hoodie Putty within 5 of the game and their spot in the final match. Reisner, Neal, Swanson, Hogg, Aston, Pickering, and Hoban. McIntosh, Milne, Hodgman, Taylor Nards, Edwards for Credo. Hodgman initiates. Great movement by Edwards to get the slip from Pickering. Hodgman finds Taylor Nards. Nice undercut. Reisner puts the pressure on, but McGuinness comes away with it. Nice upline cut by Taylor Nards, but it's sealed off by Mara Neal. The disc has to go back to Hodgman instead. Taylor Nards comes back underneath for it. Huge shot going up, looking for McGuinness, and finds her. Beautiful score. Great work by Credo. What a find, trusting the foot speed of Te Arawhai McGuinness. Huge play to bring it back within 3. Edwards with the vision. Puts one to the backside of Swanson. Reisner not able to make a bid on it. That is what Credo need. Answering a long shot from Whitlock with a long shot of their own. Fernando, Tiang, Sam, Taylor Nards, Martine Barnes, Becky Farr. Lewis Goldby and Jack Lewis. Fernando with the pull now. Whitlock, McAdam, Paul. O'Connor again, and Bodis with Broughton for the Hoodie Putty offensive side. The disc did touch inbound, so Broughton takes it from the sideline, finds Whitlock. We are in Callahan country unless McAdam can work us out of there. It's Whitlock weaving back with Broughton. A lot of pressure from the defense. Nice bid by Golby, but Broughton comes away with it. Big Fakes has to find McAdam center field. Lewis not able to shut down the continuation as Paul has the disc on the near sideline, marked out by Natalie Tiang. Heads across field, but Tiang shuts down the second option. Drops yards, finds Whitlock. McAdam again, marked by Lewis. Whitlock looks to uncork another big one, but he holsters it twice. Works far sideline. McAdam getting separation from Lewis. Makes himself an option, finds O'Connor, far sideline. This is where she can do the most damage. Whitlock puts one up. A great touch by Farr to shut that one down. Looked like O'Connor had that one, but Becky Farr says not today. Possession will go back to Credo, hoping to bring it back within 2. We are a little over an hour into our match. We are looking at a 100-minute soft cap or game to 15, whichever comes first. Broughton leaves Golby to spend some energy in the deep space. Fernando has the desk. He lets one rip. It's a little low. Hoban wants it. Good territorial play, but it's not going to be a possession for Credo. They need to fight hard to get this one back. Hoodie Putty do not make many mistakes. And it's Hoban, marked by Taylor Nartz. Huge bid, but it's not going to be enough by Golby. Broughton's got it. Hoban runs it down. Throwing in motion to Whitlock. Back to O'Connor, to McAdam for the score. Great work as Hoodie Putty take it within 4 of a victory. It's Whitlock. O'Connor to Paul. Finding McAdam open in the end zone. Lewis out of position, not able to make a play. And so Hoodie Putty will send down a defensive line. Starting to see some of those familiar Credo faces take each point, really needing to gear up and get the momentum back in their corner. Bones, Thornton with the disc. Lets it rip. It's coming towards the near sideline, but fading back towards center field. Fielded safely by Edwards. Taylor Nartz puts it a little wide, despite a great bid. It's not going to be enough. Douglas hoping to shut down McAdam. Reisner available as a reset option. Becky Farr on her toes. And Douglas does the work. Generates the turn as the disc is turfed, giving possession back to Credo within their own half. Shot goes up for Farr, comes off the fingertips. Heartbreak for Credo. Focus needs to switch back to defense to do it again. Reisner will have the disc. Finds Thornton. Goes around Fernando. To Neal with a big backhand. It's high. Players underneath. But McAdam comes down with it. Puts one across to Pickering for the score. That is, I believe, the second time we've caught that pretty much exact thing on stream. Pickering available to catch the second throw after 3 of the big lads go up for it. That high shot from Neal as McIntosh, Douglas and McAdam come out. McAdam goes up earliest, comes down with it. Aldrich gets shut down. Pickering left wide open by Edwards on the near sideline for a great score for Hoodie Putty as they go 12 over Credo 7. So a timeout has been called, possibly by Credo, looking at what adjustments they can make in the later stages of this game to keep a toe in it. Who knows what these teams are thinking and discussing. Credo trying to keep that energy high, keep that fire burning bright. They've been able to make big plays all tournaments. They have fought on stream twice so far to the very last and walked away with 2 impossible wins. Hoodie Putty currently up by 5. A comfortable cushion, but not an insurmountable one.
Hoodie Putty on 3. 1, 2, 3. Hoodie Putty!
Even the sideline struggling to hold it together in this thrilling match. Hoodie Putty with the disc. Reisner with the pull for Hoodie Putty. Touching down, out of bounds. It will be bricked by Hodgman. Caleb Milne pressuring deep. It's out of 5. McGuinness not able to run that one down. A great long option by Credo. A great put by Credo. But Hoodie Putty will take possession. Neil to Hoban. Goes around, back to Neil. Reisner in front of Besseling. To Hogg, quick chip shot back to Neil, back to Hogg. Neil marked by McGuinness in the midfield. Aldrich up the far sideline to Reisner. To Neil again for Peter Hoban in the end zone. Hoodie Putty 2 away from the win and their spot in the finals. Reisner around to Neil. Great score by Hoban for Hoodie Putty. The door slowly closing on Credo's ambitions of a top 2 finish. A reminder that we will be seeing the loser of this game immediately afterwards in our coverage of the bronze final for the Division 1 Mixed Ultimate Championships in New Zealand. O'Connor with the disc for the Hoodie Putty pull. Lets it rip. Looks like it's fading towards the far sideline, landing out of bounds. Hodgman gives the signal to Brick. Supported in the upfield for Credo by Kat Taylor Narts and Megan Edwards. Hoodie Putty eschewing them the individual matchup in favour of a zone defence. Taylor Narts puts it through to Courting. Rips with a big lip backhand. Hogs in front. He gets the touch. Walker can't come away with it. You just can't test the big man. Tyler Hogg shutting down the Credo offense on that long option. O'Connor going deep. Whitlock finds Bodus. McIntosh pressures the reset. Able to find Thornton. To Whitlock near sideline. Back to Thornton centre field. Hogg again. Pops one out the front for the Hoodie Putty Hammer. Going all the way around. It's Whitlock with an inside forehand for Paul and the score. Hoodie Putty one away from victory. A beautiful inside forehand shot. Just enough edge to curve that disc around the defense and back towards the receiver in the end zone. Some great work there by Whitlock and Hogg to open up the space. The disc bending around Hodgman and Edwards, I believe. Courting for Danielle Paul to reel that one in and take Hoodie Putty one away from their spot in the finals. Still anybody's game in the 73rd minute. Well, now I'm just going to have to double down on the pronunciation of McIntosh. Theo McIntosh, 45 for the Credo side, who has been doing some amazing work. Hoban with the pull. Douglas and Tiang with Barnes. Trying to set the stack, trying to give the Credo offense a little bit of structure. Fernando on a nice undercut. Back towards the disc, marked by McAdam. It's Tiang against Neal. Works to the far sideline for Lewis. Hoban applying pressure on the disc. Neal gets a touch. Great layout play. Clean shot by Mara Neal for the block. Hoban with the disc. Goes high, and it's Swanson. Reisner. Barnes staying busy on the disc. Lewis shutting down Peter Hoban, but not enough. Hoban with a big backhand, hoping to finish it. Here, it's Swanson. And that is going to be... That is going to be the game. Hoodie Putty 15 over Credo 7. Shattering the hopes of the hometown heroes, taking it all the way to the finals, but we will see them again in our next match. The bronze final for the 2022 Division 1 Mixed Ultimate Championships at Bob Dean's Field. And we will see Hoodie Putty shortly afterwards in our final match against an as of yet unknown opponent. Great work by both of these teams, putting on a fantastic display of Ultimate for you at home. Proudly brought to you by the team at ULTI.TV. Head on over to patreon.com/ULTI.TV if you like what you see. Every little bit helps, and it might even give me back my shoelaces. Until next time, my name is Blair Monroe, and it's been an absolute pleasure to be here with you. We will see you on the next one.
Bichon picks up, and they've got a short field. They've got another goal. It's tied up at 12. I cannot believe what I'm seeing
Can
here.
Lola Dam chase that one down? That is a score for Hartlicker Elferkel. Fantastic run by Julia Lutz.
We're on a mission to make Ultimate huge.
And we believe that that requires knocking down the paywall.
We want our videos and live streams to be free to watch, and we want them to go viral.
When you become a member, you enable us to improve our working relationships with tournament organisers, events and federations.
And you'll help us to produce live stories for Ultimate fans, and to generate new fans with our enhanced content.
We are a group of Ultimate players, coaches and video enthusiasts, and we want to bring you coverage on a more consistent basis. We want to make stories that not only reach you,
but also reach people outside the Ultimate community.
Ciao ragazzi, support the community.
Let's subscribe ULTI.TV. There's lots of the videos, posting, everything. Check it out. They are the best one. Woo!
If you want to grow Ultimate Sports, become a member of ULTI.TV.
Regardez ULTI.TV. Deviens membre d'ULTI.TV et fais grandir ta communauté.
Top ULTI.TV. Följ med och ringa med Ultimate av Andromeda.
Si quieres ayudar a ULTI.TV, puedes ser miembro de ULTI.TV.
Everyone, follow ULTI.TV on Instagram, on YouTube. They've got everything.
Best content.
Like their pictures if you love Frisbee, just do it.
We're counting on you.
Bli medlem på ULTI.TV.
Became member
of ULTI.TV.
Mamma mia.
Contribue au développement d'Ultimate avec ULTI.TV.
Like and subscribe. ULTI.TV, the best in the world.
We want to grow Ultimate.
we want to grow Ultimate. We've worked with the major federations and the greatest events.
We have our signature style 2-camera setup,
With thousands of hours of experience,
and our crew is globally dispersed to facilitate coverage everywhere around the world. We can also scale back our broadcast with just one elevated camera, or scale up with 2 fields, 2 cameras, and 2 commentators on each.
we work with local teams and we all have the same mission, to grow the sport and bring it to new people by providing live coverage and news stories.
Become a member today on our Patreon page.
And fund our work to cover more events in the future and to bring more stories, ideas and live coverage to the eyes of the Ultimate world and beyond.